Hello everyone and welcome to this stats video for January. We generated 149.5 kilowatt hours from the solar this month. Here you can see a pie chart which shows what proportion of generated power came from each of my inverters. The Solac's by far the biggest because it's a 5 kilowatt inverter, and the 2 kilowatt GrowWatt has wall mounted vertical solar panels, so at this time of year it's giving pretty good output. So of all the power we generated, we managed to keep 91.5% of it. We only exported 8.5% of it. That's pretty good going. We can't get it much lower than that because there's a small amount of leakage just because of the way the grid tied battery systems work. There's always a small amount of leakage onto the grid so that they can detect which way the power is going. So we probably can't get it much lower than that. Ideally, I'd like it to be zero. We've imported a total of 608 kilowatt hours this month. Almost all of that will have been at about 5 pence a kilowatt hour. This was the best day in January, the 25th. It was a pretty sunny day. This was the worst day. It was the day before, the 24th. And you can see we got almost nothing. Very grey day. Here is my Octopus energy consumption figures for each day in January. You can see that pretty much we don't use any electricity during the day. We only use it between midnight and 4:30 in the morning, and that's when it costs just 5 pence a kilowatt hour. We can do this because I have a large battery array at home and I charge it up every night from the grid between those hours, and then I run the house off it during the day, even when there's almost no solar, which there isn't at this time of year. We also charge the cars, run the dishwasher, run the washing machine. All of these things are switched on automatically by my home automation system that I wrote. The batteries charge automatically again using my home automation system. So consequently we pay only 5 pence a kilowatt hour for our electricity most of the time. There are a few days where we run out of battery power just towards the end of the evening, and then we start pulling from the grid for the last few hours. I hope to get another battery to add to my system soon, and that will hopefully stop that from happening. So it costs us 5 pence a kilowatt hour to charge the batteries during the cheap rate at night, but it's not a 100% efficient process. But even when you take into account losses between charging and what you get back out when you discharge the batteries, it works out probably about 6 pence a kilowatt hour for the cost for using that electricity, which is still a lot cheaper than the daytime rate of about 13 pence a kilowatt hour. So it makes a lot of sense to run from batteries if you've got them, and also gives you the benefit that if there is a power cut, you can continue to operate without any trouble at all. So that's pretty much all the data for January. In this pie chart you can see the proportion of generated power to grid power. Obviously it's January, so we're not getting a huge amount of sunshine, so the amount of generated power is quite small and the amount of energy we have to take from the grid is quite large. Over the course of the year you should see that change, particularly as we get towards the summer months. I would expect it to be pretty much the opposite way round. On this pie chart you can see where all the power went. You can see that most of the power is in the other category. This makes up everything in the house that doesn't have a separate category of its own. So that includes things like the lights, the oven, the microwave, the kids' computers, the games consoles, all that sort of stuff. The things that I am registering here is the cars. So you can see the PHEV has hardly been used, and that's because I'm working from home. The Leaf is taking up about a quarter of all of our power to run the Leaf. We don't really heat any hot water using the immersion unless there's solar going spare, which there isn't at this time of year. The kettle is the next biggest user, and the dishwasher and the washing machine. I've installed some new monitoring things on the computer and the games consoles now, so next month I should have a more detailed breakdown of just how much of our energy goes on gaming. And with 2 teenage boys, I think it's probably quite a lot. I'm on the fantastic Octopus Go tariff, which gives you 4 hours of really cheap rate electricity between midnight and 4:30 in the morning at a cost of just 5p a kilowatt hour. If you've got an EV or you've got house batteries like I have, it's the best electricity supplier to be with, without question. If you'd like to join Octopus, please check out my referral link here. If you join using my link, we'll both get £50 added to our account, so that's not too bad. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, etc., all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.